too much. I can't cross a friend up. It got to a point where I was gonna start killing my friends.
Mhm.
Know what I mean? And I'm gonna be 100 with you. I ain't had a heart to do that.
Mhm.
I ain't never in my life punched somebody in the face that I called my brother. Like,
Mm.
I'm just not that kind of nigga in life. I'm just keeping it funky with y'all.
Yeah.
So
Elevation Nation Conversations, God Body Sean. I'm here. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, drop a comment in the comment section. It's Sunday, it's my day off. I'm kicking it. And I was strolling through YouTube and I caught a video of Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka was on a podcast. I think he was on Fresh and Fit podcast. And I don't know, I always liked Waka Flocka for some reason. Some of his music was cool. He a lot younger than me. I used to be in the music game. I lived in Atlanta for about 10 years. I never had a chance to meet him. But you can see somebody, you can see how they move and see how they operate. You can kind of tell their spirit, or you can feel their energy. And I always did like Waka Flocka. But he was on a podcast called Fresh and Fit. And he was just speaking about how he never really was that type of dude to be in that gang culture, but he realized he really wasn't meant for it when he had to do certain things, and it just wasn't something that was in his nature. And when I heard that, I could really resonate with that because I'm from Chicago. I was in that gang culture. But I'm gonna let you hear what he's talking about. Then I'm gonna come back and give you my, my view on it, what I went through and things like that, and see, how we can relate. And maybe Waka saying this could maybe sink into the young brothers, to the young guys, and let them know, what it is. So hit that like, share, subscribe button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let's hear what Waka Flocka talking about, and I'll come back and let y'all know how I feel about it. All right, peace.
it was too much. I can't cross a friend up. It got to a point where I was gonna start killing my friends.
Mhm.
Know what I mean? And I'm gonna be 100 with you. I ain't had a heart to do that.
Mhm.
I ain't never in my life punched somebody in the face that I called my brother. Like,
Mm.
I'm just not that kind of nigga in life. I'm just keeping it funky with y'all.
Yeah.
So I had a choice, like, yo, I'm not raw. Like, I had to tell myself, like, and rap showed me that. Rap actually showed me, like, nigga, Walker, you ain't cutthroat like this. You tripping. Like, nigga, I'm not with that double crossing shit. Like,
Yeah.
I never was in the streets to be a street nigga. I was in the streets to learn, to capitalize, to make it, to have brotherhood. That's why I was pushing whatever I was pushing outside. I never did it to snatch a purse, bully a nigga. He had a different color, wrong set, shit like that. It was never that. It was respect.
Mhm.
Like, it was too much. I can't cross a friend up. It got to a point where I was gonna start killing my friends.
Mhm.
Know what I mean? And I'm gonna be 100 with you. I ain't had a heart to do that.
Mhm.
I ain't never in my life punched somebody in the face.
And when I heard Waka saying that, I couldn't do nothing but salute him. I respect it wholeheartedly, 100%, and I understand it. I'm from Chicago, the West Side. I was in a gang, GD, Growth and Development, Gangster Disciples, and just even when I was in the streets, I knew I wasn't raw like that to the point where I'm going out drawing down on niggas for no reason, or just because they the opposition or they another gang, or never like thieves. I never, we never like, cats that were stick up dudes or rob dudes, or want to rob and things like that were, stealers. When I was out there selling dope, when I was out there hustling, selling dope, had my little spot, was selling drugs with my family and things like that. That shit never resonated with me to the point where I'm thinking this is really, really me. When I'm in the streets, when I'm really thinking I'm a stone cold killer, I'm the baddest, I'm the gangsterest nigga out here. That it never was. I was never raw like that. What I was I was a young man, I was a man, and I was in an environment where I was surviving. I wasn't scared, I wasn't no punk, wasn't none of that like that, but I wasn't running around trying to go, ride down on another gang, trying to go bust at somebody for no reason, or just because they on this block and we on this block. That shit never resonated with me, and it never made sense to me. I never understood it. Now, I had family members that was straight up motherfucking killers. They were straight up about that life. They was with that shit, and that's what that's what they were in they heart and they soul. And I can't judge and knock that. That's not what I do. I don't condone that, but that's what they did and what they do. And one of them is resting in peace right now. My first cousin, Nino, he was about that life. Nino was about that life, and he showed me a lot of things in the streets. You know, Nino was, I think, maybe 4 years younger than me, but he was in that life at an early age, you know, hardcore with it. And he showed me what that life really was about and what it could lead to. And he just had a different, you know, he was a kind person, but he was still about that life in them streets. And I just never was like that. I never was like that to the point where I'm out there guerrilla with it. It wasn't no need for that. If you wasn't fucking with me or nobody in my family, I'm chilling. I'm cool. You know, but it could always come to that point where now if you're trying to take from me or if you're trying to get at me and things like that, I will defend. You know, I will go on defense, but I was never the offender. I was never on offense trying to look and bully anybody. Or I hate bullies. I never liked bullies. Never liked the bully on the block that was trying to be the toughest dude, trying to run down on everybody and trying to run shit. I never liked that. I never liked those type of dudes. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was able to make it out of Chicago, make it out of the dope game, because I was selling dope. I was running with guns, running with gangs, and never get caught up. I think God had his hand on me because he saw that really wasn't me. I wasn't taking it to that level and committing and doing things, you know, that were just heinous or just raw like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why he moved me up out of that unscathed. And what I mean by unscathed is I've been in shootouts. People have shot up my cars. I've been on the block when they shot the block up. I've had to shoot, you know, bust a couple times. Thankful nobody got hit or just whatever. But he moved me out of that without being shot up. I've never been shot. I've never been to prison. Never caught any cases. So to this day, I can go buy a gun legally and carry it legally. And I think that's why I was able to transition up out of that street life, because I wasn't in it like that to the point where I'm subscribing to this lifestyle, to this mindset, you know. And when I heard him, you know, speak about this, I said, man, more young dudes need to hear this. Because a lot of dudes, a lot of young brothers, old and young, they not really with that shit. You know, it's a lot that are with that shit. They on demon time and that's what they do and that's what it is. But it's a lot of brothers that are not really on that demon time like that. They really are just trying to survive and make it out of the midst of the environment that they in. You can't be in a jungle being a rabbit. You know what I'm saying? You'll get your ass ate up. So a lot of dudes, man, a lot of dudes are adapting to the environment that they're in, and they're getting caught up. They're getting caught up and going to prison, or getting caught up and, you know, dying. If you ask 90% of them dudes, man, if they had another way out, man, they'd take that motherfucking way out so quick and so fast, they'd be out of there. That's partly one of the things that I think happened with Tupac. Tupac wasn't raised, you know, to be the thug and, you know, trying to be gangster and hardcore. You know, you could see it in his music. A lot of his music was about pain. It was about trying to elevate and uplift. But he got caught in the midst of being in an environment where he had to kind of play a role. You know, he had to kind of enhance himself, more than what he really was. And circumstances, you know, shit like that happen. You know, you gotta choose who you are on this earth and in this world, and you gotta be who you really are and be that. And you gotta be what you know, be what you are. If you're not about that, if that's not what you are, it's never gonna work for you. And that was one of the reasons too why I walked away from the music game. When I got in the music game, man, I was in there. I was like, damn, I'm leaving the streets, trying to do music and get away from this bullshit. And these niggas, that's all they talking about. They want to talk about selling dope and running plays and this and that. And I'm thinking, I don't want to talk about none of that shit. I want to talk about getting some money, man, getting with the women and elevating and kind of moving, you know, being more political. I never understood that when I was in the music industry, and I would be around a lot of these dudes And I could feel the energy and just see like, man, we are not cut the same. We not cut from the same cloth. A lot of the ways in where they think, how they move, that just wasn't me, man. The music game is definitely cutthroat. It's definitely cutthroat. It's definitely backstabbing. It's definitely every man for itself, and that's just never been my it's never been my vibe or my energy. I was always trying to help a motherfucker, or put a motherfucker onto some game. Even when I was selling dope, I used to get that shit away a lot of times, man. Like if the hype, or the smoker would come and they ain't really got it all, or they running game on me saying they ain't got it all, and I know they do, I wouldn't trip about that shit, man. Here, give me what you got here, man. Take that shit. I wasn't trying to hold on to none of that dope or them drugs, trying to be a kingpin and trying to squeeze every dollar out of them and trying to be, Nino Brown on them and all that, man. Fuck that shit. I was like, yeah, here, take this shit. As long as I can get enough to recop and re-up, so I can, have my little car, my little clothes, and my little bill money, I was cool. I was not trying to be a kingpin. I wasn't trying to be the biggest GD. I wasn't trying to be the hardest killer on the block, and none of that. That just wasn't even in my nature. My nature is to defend. If you stepping on my toes or if you coming at me, we gonna get busy with it. I'm not standing down from nothing, but I am not the one to walk around being a motherfucking bully or trying to, take nothing or, bully anybody. That shit never, it never resonated with me. So when I saw Waka Flocka talking about this, I said, damn, more people need to see this, man. This brother, he hit it right on the head. When you know something is not you, you got to realize that's not you. You got to be true to yourself and walk away from that or whatever, because that's how a lot of folks get killed, locked up, prison, knocked off, because they being somebody that they not. And now they getting caught up in circumstances, in situations, and it's not good. So I think more rappers need to understand this and just be a rapper. Just be a rapper. Make music. Be a rapper. Okay, you made it out of the streets. You made it out of the dope game. Be a fucking rapper. Get you some money, man. Get legal. Yeah, you can talk about your past life, but you got to put it in a light where you're not really glorifying it or you're not exaggerating it too so much, man. I think all of the indictments that's going on with with Lil Durk, Young Thug, Diddy, a lot of these rappers that are getting indicted or doing shit like that, they gonna change the whole atmosphere of the industry. The streets been dead, man. I left the streets in '99. I think the streets died back then, so there should be no reason for a lot of the rappers to be talking about they got keys and they got weight and things like that, because it's not happening like that. Ain't nobody moving keys like that. Ain't nobody moving bricks like that. That part of the game is dead. It's over with. It's dead. And I think if we had more artists coming in the game and seeing this, man, and just being who they are, man, I think the rap game would not be in the state that it's in right now. It's in a state of emergency right now. They trying to damn near eliminate rap and make it illegal, the way they indicting all these dudes that are doing all this bullshit, still doing music, but still trying to be, half in and half out the streets, and it just don't work. And it just don't work. And I think a lot more, young men need to kind of lose some of that bravado and that ego and just realize, yeah, I left the streets, I made it, I'm rapping now. I'm getting money, man. I'm flying around the globe, I'm fucking bitches, I'm getting money, I'm eating good food, I'm working out, I'm chilling. I don't understand why that's not made to be cool. But instead, you got everybody want to get tatted up, everybody is a killer, everybody a demon, everybody the hardest, and it's unrealistic. I stopped listening to rap music really, man, damn near 20 years ago. If I hear something on the radio or if I see something on YouTube and it sounds good, I might check it out, but a lot of the rap, I can't even relate to it. I'm 51 years old, man. A lot of the rappers that are older, they sound like young niggas. Old men trying to still sound young. That don't appeal to me. It shows no growth, no elevation. They in an arrested mind state, arrested development. 50-year-old men still trying to rap and sound like they 20. Every woman is a bitch, or they sold this dope and they got this many. Man, that shit is trash to me. And I think it's just because I growed, I elevated, and even when I was in the streets, I saw it from a different perspective. I wasn't trying to be of the streets. I was in them, and I was trying to survive in them, but I wasn't of the streets. I was from them, but I wasn't of them. And it's a big difference. And I think that's one of the major reasons why I made it out of there alive, unscathed, no cases, and here to this day. So hit that like, share, subscribe button. Let me know if y'all feeling what Waka Flocka was talking about. I think he had an excellent point. I think more people need to hear that. I think more rappers need to speak like that and put that type of message out. That's real right there. That's gangster right there. Gangster don't mean you running around bullying and you running around throwing your weight around. Nah. Gangster mean you can handle shit when it come your way, whether it be if you had a 9-to-5 job or you out here in the streets or handling business or whatever. It means handling your business, taking care of your business and getting shit done. Staying the fuck out of the jail system. That's gangster. Don't let nobody tell you it's gangster that you in jail and they telling you when you can leave the cell or when you can eat, when you got to go to sleep. You locked up with men all day, no women, no money. That's not gangster. That's not real. That's not hard. Nah. Actually, those are the losers because they got caught. I mean, no shade. Much respect to a lot of them brothers in there. Some don't belong in there. Some got caught up in the mix or some made mistakes, but that's not where you're supposed to be at. You're supposed to be out here on these streets getting money, man, and making shit happen. So I just want to tap in real quick, man, and salute and give Waka Flocka his flowers. He said some real shit, and you don't see a lot of rappers speaking like that and being honest and truthful like that. So I salute that brother, man. We need more men like that. And he sound like he definitely growed and he growing. So that's real deal. But hit that like, subscribe button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the message Waka Flocka was putting out there. And I'm gonna check y'all on the next one. All right, y'all. Peace.
I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning.
Elevation Nation Conversations. God Body Sean.